All right, last phase for today. We're going to build in the front. The thing I want you to pay attention to as we build in the front is that the zygomatic arch, which is the cheekbone, right, runs from exactly the halfway point where the back of the jawbone is, around to, see how it sits behind the facial plane. Here's our facial plane, and it's back a little bit, okay? But we're going to use this, essentially, corner of the cheekbone, the zygomatic arch, and down to the jaw, right here. See how the jaw bends right there? You can see straight up. There's that little bend in the jaw, flat part of the jaw, bend in the jaw, up to that zygomatic arch. Okay, we're going to use that to start to build in our facial plane. And along with the idea that the eye socket, for right now, we're going to treat the eye socket generally as halfway between the base of the jaw and the top of the head. The top of the head being here, at the brow area. Okay? The reason this area of the jaw is flat in space relative to this area in front of that little corner is because this is where the masseter plugs in, and that's a big muscle that moves right up under like that. It's why when you tense your jaw, you see a little flexation right up here in your temple. Okay? So it's actually full of muscle. So here's how we do that. If I have a good contour front to back, I've got the back of my skull built in, then I can take a measurement and I can judge where halfway between my chin, my bottom part of my jaw, which is here, and top is, and I can actually measure it left and right. It's a little bit low. I'll move that up. So right there is the center of my eye socket. Okay? And what I can do is just start to build in with the big old chunk of clay that zygomatic arch. So what I'm going to do, remember I said that corner is a little back of the facial plane? I'm going to put that corner in the clay right there and just come straight across like that. See that? Okay. And then I can start to pack in and fill forward. Now remember the head is shaped like an egg. So what happens on the skull is from the frontal lobe, there's a little line here, right? And this whole area in there, this is called the temporal lobe. So your temple is the thinnest part of the skull. This will have a tendency to look a little flat, right? If you look at my big bald head, you'll see it right here. There should be a stripe of light. Let's see if we can get a camera. Am I on camera? See that stripe of light right there? So, there. See it right there? So, flat. Ridge, down kind of steep, or down a little shallow, steeper, ridge, a little bit hollow. Okay? So, that's exactly how I can build this. I can pack in that clay and build that out. I'm going to bring my brow ridge right across. It's going to look like a robot. Okay? And I'm not going to worry about smoothing anything. I only want it together enough so that I know where the forms are. Right? We're still in like Frogger camp. We're nowhere close to Mario or Mario Kart. So I can just start to build that in, and I'm already like starting to build in the socket. So what I should have is a corner on the brow ridge right here. That's a little inside towards the center of the face from the corner of the zygomatic arch, right? Which is a little back of the facial plane. So this little corner on the brow ridge is in front of, that way, the cheekbone corner, which is here, but it's inside of it from the front view. Okay? Right now. That's all, that's where I'm at. So that's how I build in. And then I can do a little shaping, right? I can bring that gradual plane down from my contour, and then I can put the more steep plane in there. Right? Now watch. I'm going to keep showing you this in different ways. Let's say I like that shape I'm getting, the overall form of it, but I have that hole. I am not going to go in with my finger and try to smooth that. What I'm going to do is tear a tiny little piece of clay that just fills that, and then wipe it over with my thumb or a tool. That's what modeling is. Okay? You're trying to not disturb the form, just bring the surface out. Does that make sense? Yes, that makes sense. Thank you. So, jaw-wise, halfway, right in front of the parietal, I'm going to call this the jaw, and all I'm going to do in here is just start to pack clay in, and I'm going to finish up my robot head today by using that zygomatic arch, that cheekbone corner, and just bringing it kind of down and back a little bit. Bringing it kind of down back a little bit and filling that jaw through. Okay? That's all I need to do. So, I'm keeping everything really nice and simple and plainer, right? Like hard corners, hard edges, so that I can see my proportions and relationships more clearly. Okay? And there's also this idea, and this is the last idea, and I'll let you get to work, is we are making a human body out of clay. Right? We're making a human form out of clay. We don't have variations in the color of the skin, like if my nose is red, or if my lip has a color, or if my eyelids have makeup on, or whatever. We don't have those color differences. We don't have the separation between the texture of the hair and the skin. We don't have a lot of that stuff to peel off of. And we're also making this head smaller than ourselves, right? The smaller things get, the more clear edges need to be in order for them to retain the same clarity, visual clarity. So, the smaller I make things, the more angular the edges get for them to kind of register as clearly as the bigger thing. Right? So, in a sense, you're going to be abstracting this head a little bit relative to the full-size view. Okay? So, I'm going to go in, I will show you one more step. My last little step is, I'm going to go in, and this is my original, center contour stripe is about that wide. I'm going to go ahead and just bring that socket in so that I'm leaving a much thinner space between the eye sockets. Okay? Because this is essentially the top of the nasal bone. So, we're going to try to get to here today. And the last thing I want you to do is just start to pack a little clay, just a little bit. Don't worry about it, it doesn't really need to look like a neck. I just want to pack a little bit of clay up under that nice jaw and skull shape that I made. And this is really doing nothing more than, for today, than supporting all that clay in the armature and helping to keep it hydrated, right? So this clay will have to dry out. Okay, when I'm this far, I'm going to give it a little spritz, and I'm going to double bag it and leave it for next time. Okay.